Toastmasters and honored guests. Last Sunday, during the break, I was talking with Sarah, and I asked her about if she was going to become a DTM, and her answer really surprised me. She said that she didn't want to be a DTM because she didn't want to walk through the line at the conference. And it got me to thinking. I told her, I became a DTM, and I didn't walk through the line either. I've never gone to the fall conference. But I started looking this last week over my history with Toastmasters. And before Toastmasters, I was very, very introvert. As a matter of fact, I've been in Scientology for quite some time, and every time you finish a course, they make you get up at the graduation, or at least in the course room, and tell your wins to everybody. So what I would do is if I finished the course 2 hours before the course was actually going to be over, I went to the bathroom. And I was in the bathroom for 2 hours until that course room was over, and then I came out, and then they would announce me to an empty course room. And that's how I solved that problem. Now when I finished this large course called the St. Hill Special Briefing Course, I knew I was going to have to talk on that one. I was going, man, what am I going to do? So I had written up this success story for having completed that course. And I just took that, and I stood there in front of everybody, and I read my success story to everybody. It's the only way I could talk to everybody, is just sit there and look at the paper and read that off to everybody. And then one day, somebody invited me to Toastmasters, and I don't know why I came. I don't know why. And I remember coming in, I was late, and I walked in the wrong door into the little theater. The meeting had already started, and as I walked in the door, everybody looks at me. Ugh. And that's how I started Toastmasters. I decided to do it. It was time to handle this huge monster that was controlling my life. So I started, and I wouldn't get up for table topics for quite some time. And then when I finally gave my first speech, I read it. And I read it at about 1,800 words a minute. That's how scared I was. And the whole room went black. I didn't see anybody out there. It was just like pitch black. There was me, the lectern, and nothing else. But I worked through that manual, and I made it up through the end of the manual. And then I worked through another manual. And it was a funny thing. It's like, when I was working through the first manual, I decided to do the contest, the Tall Tales contest. And Debbie Ellish was my mentor. And she had me come over to her house to practice the speech with her. I had written up this whole speech, and I practiced it with myself. And she goes, okay, tell me the speech. So I stand there and go, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't just talk to her and give her my speech. It took me like a half an hour before I was able to say the first word. This is where I started from, but I worked through it. And then I became the Sergeant at Arms, and I really was participating in the club. And I did more contests. And I did the contest. You notice I don't say that I won any of the contests, because I didn't. But then I became the VP PR, and I became the VP Production. I also helped Richard Stewart start another club, Open House, and I was over there. And I did posts over there as well, along with my wife. Now, I ended up being the president of Renaissance Speakers. And I have to say, it was the hugest learning experience that I ever had in Toastmasters. You think being a president is just a la-di-da-di-da. I'll be the president, and I'll come up here and talk, and everybody will love you. It's not the way it works. And everybody who's the president, who's been the president, knows that's not the way it works. I went through a lot of things. And when I was asked to be the president, I was going, wow, what am I going to do? The club was like having a hard time. The last president kind of blew out, didn't want to be here anymore. And Mike, you got to save the club. So I said, okay, well, there's two things that will happen as me as the president. Either the club will do great, or they'll fold. And that was the attitude I came in. I said, you know what? My goal here is just to have fun. Every meeting is going to be fun no matter what. And they're going to end on time. Every meeting is going to end on time. And I think all but 3 meetings ended on time. And we had lots of fun. And then by the time December came, I was in despair because I was looking at all the statistics of everybody else and what they'd all done. And I'm going, I'm going to have the worst statistics of anybody in this club. This blows. And so I said, well, who needs high statistics anyway? I'm the president. I can take it. And then Kay went in with this program, this high performance leadership program. And she decided to make the 6 DTMs. And it was a funny thing. Through this game, everybody started playing it. And everybody said they would help these people become DTMs, which meant they had to do speeches so they could be mentored or coached or whatever. And so a lot of people started doing a lot of things. And we ended off with the highest statistics ever. And I was like amazed by that. And now Roberta's going to beat that. And she might, because I'm going to be helping her. But then after that, the next year, I did my requirements for DTM, and I became a DTM. That's the highest level you can make in Toastmasters. And it's a funny thing, I never went to the conference, and then I didn't go to the next conference. And I never went to a conference since, and I never walked through the walk of hugs and whatever for the DTMs. And this is what I was thinking about this week. I go, what happened? Because after that, I basically quit. I was coming to meetings, I was giving speeches, doing this and that, but that's all I was doing. I was being a peripheral member. And looking at it, I realized I had completed what I had set out to do with Toastmasters. I had completed the game. It was over. It was done. And I hadn't looked at that, and I hadn't made a new game. And I went, oh my God, I need a new game. And Roberta's talked about, we should get people onto their second DTM. And I'm behind that. I think that's a great thing. And I still don't have to walk down the walk myself when I make that second DTM. But what's in my future for Toastmasters?